Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and hello everybody. We have already told you last time about the most important four components of the process of change. We have talked about thinking, proper thinking, and problem solving strategy, and time and planning. Those four components are very important, as we have showed that, to the process of change. Today we're going to talk about the personality trait. This topic is very huge topic, I would say, very wide topic in psychology. We have it in psychiatry. They have it in behavior. They have it, in many disciplines and fields. But what I'm going to talk about, the personality trait and the relation to the process of change. First of all, let us define what is personality trait. Personality trait is characteristics, pattern, and thoughts. So we have pattern, and this pattern need to be repeated by the person in different occasions. We cannot say, for example, about any behavior that it is a trait until it's repeated many times in different occasions. For example, if we say that this person is anger personality, that means angry or hot person or high temper, we cannot say this high temper for one occasion only. If he is getting angry because of one incident, no, we have to see that he is angry in different incidents, different places, different times, so we can draw the line. We can draw the line exactly like we're doing about statistics, or we do curves. So the curve, in fact, when we draw the curve is a summation of many points which can give you the behavior. That's why we have, for example, sigmoid curve in pharmacology, which they call it sigmoid, because there are so many points where when we increase the concentration of a drug, the response increase till certain amount, certain dose, where there is no increase in the response, but decrease. And that's why we can see plateau or flat curve in the sigmoid curve of pharmacology. This curve obtained from many points. Same thing when we're talking about personality traits. It has to be like this exactly. We have to see many points which can draw the curve. The curve cannot be drawn without points. So many points will confirm that this trait is a personality trait of a person. This is number one. I'm not going to explain it in form of psychology or psychiatry or all of these. No, I'm talking about personality trait as we know it, as we're going to use it for the process of a change. Right. Now, this is the personality trait, and it will affect, of course, thoughts, affect feeling, affect behavior, and so on. Now, the second question, how to have this trait? How can we have it? Can we have the trait ourselves? To adopt a trait, for example? Or the trait is with us, embedded in our personality? There are certain traits we're born with it. From the early childhood, you can see this child is stubborn. And stubbornness is personality trait. Or this child is easygoing. This child is cool, right? This child is noisy. I mean, you can see it from the early childhood, even from the infancy. We can see that. But those traits can be modified, no doubt. Maybe we cannot change it completely. That means remove completely the personality trait, but we can modify it. And that's why the modification behavior is like this. This is the way we have strategy to modify the behavior. Same thing for the traits. When we're born with, we can, in fact, modify it by discipline, modified by training, modified by different methods, if the person is willing to do that. Because if he is willing to change himself, he can change, as we can say before, because this is the power of change. Right, so now the personality traits, some can be acquired from the society, for example, can develop certain pattern of activities, and those activities become like a trait. And we have to differentiate between traits and habits. The habit is something you develop. Drinking coffee is a habit, especially when you drink it all over the day, you see. You may drink coffee in the morning and breakfast. This is, in fact, we cannot say it's habit because this is connected to you as a person. You need to eat, you need to drink. And our eating and drink, I have already told about you about that. I have already told you about that the eating and drinking and all of these biological activity affect the process of change in certain degree. So the habit can be developed through activity of the society. The habit is something different from personality trait, but sometimes can connect it to the personality traits. So the habit itself becomes like a component, complex form between the trait and the habit. And in that case, it will be very difficult to change because the habit will be like conditional. It will be like conditional sign of the behavior. Now, the personality trait, of course, it will affect behavior, feeling, and so many things. Now, if we come and say there are certain behavior we have in the society, any society, can we say that this kind of behavior came from self, from the person himself, or they came from the society, or they came from what? It's very important to see what is bad and what's good. Because as you can see, there are steps going forward, then we come to the conclusion that the human nature cannot be understood without going back to the original human nature, to the origin of a human when Allah created. We have no choice. We cannot explain so many things without going back to the main source. And the main source which can tell us about the fact of the human nature. And the only source we have is the Quran. The Quran is the only source which is saying the truth about the human nature. If we leave it for the human, they cannot do anything. Now look, now we have it now here, to the human mind. The cow is a god in India. They worship the cow. And the cow, they play with it in bullfighting in Spain. The cow is the cow, the human mind is different. We cannot depend on the human mind to derive morals, to derive values, to derive behavior. So we must have another source. And that source, as I have told you about, is the Quran and Prophet Muhammad ﷺ teaching, because the Quran is the words of Allah, the Creator, who knows the human nature, who knows the human, and Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is the messenger of Allah, and Allah revealed to him the truth. Whatever we want to know about human nature, we have to go to these two sources. No doubt that we have information ourselves when we come to the society. We can say this is the bad behavior, this is the good behavior. The human nature is very intact and very clear and strong. So we say, for example, killing is something rejected by any human. Violence, rejected by any human. Abusing, rejected by any human. So this is the human nature secretion. Allah created, subhanahu wa ta'ala. But there are certain behavior which can be accepted by somebody, can be accepted even by the whole society, but it is forbidden according to the Quran and according to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ teaching. So that's why we have to be realistic when we try to view to something or value something. If you want to evaluate something, we have to go to the main source to evaluate it. And we can say this is wrong or right accordingly. We cannot say it's wrong or right according to the taste of the human being, taste of the society, or what society say it's good, it will be good. No, we cannot say that. Sometimes the society can say about something bad, it become good. I mean, spreading things when we become dominant doesn't mean that's truth. Doesn't mean that dominance here is not the power which can affect us to follow something. We need to have our own integrity, our own dignity, our own, I would say, power, powerful force, and strong personality to choose the bad and choose the good. Now, when we talk about personality traits, I would like to highlight, probably in the next sessions, about what's the effect of these personality traits, not only one trait, many traits, in the process of change. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you soon, next week, inshallah, or the following week. Assalamu alaikum.